What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jeffo coming at you with another video. I apologize if you hear a lot of shaking. I'm actually on my shake plate right now. Getting the toxins, I just did my workout, so right now I'm actually trying to, relax until I can get into my run. But I wanted to get this video out for you. I've actually talked about this in a more broader sense, but I kind of want to go a little bit deeper into one of the videos that I made where it says like you have to work harder than you expected to get to where you wanted to go. And this is because a lot of times when you learn stuff, and I'm going to talk more so specifically for like school and learning, but anything that you're doing, it's kind of the same thing. Like you're learning, you're experiencing, so it all combines, right? It takes a lot of energy to learn. I did not understand the amount of energy it takes to actually learn, retain something, and actually implement it on a day-to-day basis. It takes a lot of energy. Like when I was younger, earlier in my high school career, when I was like in 9th, 10th, even a little bit of the 11th grade, where I would go to class just to be in class, and I got a wake-up call where it was like, hey, you're not going to actually be able to graduate with your group because you're not meeting the GPA requirement. So if you don't turn things around, you're not going to be able to walk. You're going to actually have to walk with the next group, so you're going to be held back. Never been through that ever in my life. And it actually forced me to put more energy into it. And what I started to realize while I was learning is that though, I had that switch mindset to where it's like, okay, now I'm going to actually start to actually learn. I'm going to actually try to, pay attention to class. I started to realize that, one, though I was paying attention to the teachers and I was paying attention to the lectures and stuff like that, reading the books, if I did it once, it didn't stick. You know what I mean? It was not sticking. It was very surface level. And with surface level things, when time goes by, it just gets wiped off. It gets wiped out. Like you're not retaining the thing. The only way that you can retain it is by doing constant repetition, constantly looking at it, and, being focused on that subject on a consistent basis. So I was doing this unintentionally because I would go to the lecture, and then I started cutting off things that weren't really aligned with me getting the best grade possible, which was going outside, doing things that weren't really, intertwined with school. So it actually made me use less energy on things that weren't really trying to achieve my goal, and I was putting all my energy into learning. So there was a big jump on the amount of hours I was putting in. Also, it was a struggle in the beginning, but the more I did it, the more I started seeing like I could actually push myself to go even longer and longer, because my mind wasn't worrying about or using energy coins on other things. I was just focused on that. But then I ended up reaching like a point where it was just like I was like a mental fatigue, and I felt like, I was using all my energy on it. I was studying like 4 or 5 hours a day, which at that point was a lot for me, right? At that point was a lot for me. And what ended up happening is I started doing it and doing it more and doing it more and doing it more. And then I started gaining a little bit more endurance, kind of like how I do when I work out. In the beginning, I do little weights, little chunks, and then I progressively get more and more and more. It's the same thing with, learning. It's the same thing with trying to achieve your goals. You don't dive into it 100% at a time. Even if you feel like you can, you don't do that. You want to slowly progress yourself, slowly progress yourself, slowly progress yourself. That way it's maintainable, and you're understanding your body, you're understanding your mind, you're understanding time that it takes to learn. So this is why it takes a while for you to gain what you need to get to, because this is the process that you need to go to, right? And I started to realize, especially now, um, that I'm in a higher level of, critical thinking and reasoning stuff now in class. I started to notice the amount of energy, the amount of time that I need to actually understand stuff. And what happens in school is they give you more and more stuff, right? In the beginning it's a little bit easier, but then as time goes on, well, for some schools, they progressively add the workload. And their thought process is that they're callousing your mind. So like, if you really want to become what you really need to become, it needs to be the only focus that you're doing. You can't be doing other stuff. Like, you can work out, you can, eat healthy, you can do everything, but those are still aligned in trying to be the best version of you, of what you can be within that realm. You're not doing things that are, very left field, right? You can't do everything left field because your mental state is not being able to focus on what you need to do. So you need to put all the energy that you can in that said, route, that said goal. And you need to become that person, right? You need to become, you can't be halfway in, halfway out. Like, maybe it might work for some people, but for the majority of the people, you need to be fully tapped in, fully locked in. And then you'll start seeing things hitting. You'll start seeing things come to you a little quicker. You'll start seeing like your answers are starting to become right. You'll start seeing that you're making progressively bigger steps to where you want to get to. And this is because you've put in the time, and this is because you're actually retaining and using all your energy coins in that said goal. So what ends up happening is because that's all you're doing, right? You're going to be sleeping, you're going to be thinking about it. You're going to be eating, you're going to be thinking about it. You're going to be it becomes what makes you happy. It becomes what makes it fun. And in the beginning, it's not really fun. And I won't say, like, even though like you do get into like the middle towards the end, like it doesn't get easier, but it does. You do get like an understanding of it, and the understanding is what makes it fun. Sometimes the work is not that fun, but watching yourself progress and watching yourself learn and watching when, like, let's say I love this, right? This is one of the main things that I like doing about learning. It's not actually what I'm learning, it's the understanding of implementing a plan, and you watching that plan progress, right? It's like basically going to war, putting a strategy in and watching that strategy unfold and becoming like a machine. Like it's like it's working. Now there are going to be some times where you do find times where that strategy doesn't work, or maybe you might have to adjust, but it's still fun. Like that, like putting in a plan, like you're your own coach, putting in a plan, using different strategies, using different experiences from, whether it be from you or your mentors or your lecturer or your professors, whoever it is, and using those plans and implementing it and watching it work. There's a gratifying feeling in it, but with that, you need to put a lot of energy, and most of your energy, into that specific topic to be successful.